To you, my gorgeous Sagittarius, this month of October 2021 is most certainly going to bring a really important moment, and it's going to consist of the actual contemplation, an important contemplation that you are going to have, that you are going to need to have in order to go to the next stage, the next step of your life. The answer to that contemplation is going to be an unfinished business. You need to pay attention to what this is, because this is going to be really important when it comes to not only your personal development, but also when it comes to your future planning, because most certainly this is something that it's actually going to take off. So you just need to pay attention to, because the second stage of this process, of this journey, is going to happen in December 2021. Indeed. My name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, and it's for October 2021. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focus is for you, my gorgeous Sagittarius, and it's for October 2021. You know, this is going to be quite interesting month indeed, purely because there is number 9 that is actually strongly attached to it, you know, and that means in numerology this is a very important number when you're going to realize that you're reaching a really significant stage in your life. It's pretty much so to do with things that you have been planning to do, that you have been trying to do, but it's also pretty much to do with those things that have been slowing you down for a long time and just causing all sorts of problems and all sorts of negativity, and that in return made you like a little bit disorientated. And when you, my gorgeous Sagittarius, when you find yourself disorientated, then this affects many different parts, you know, different parts of your life. So this is why number 9 in the actual numerology is so significant and so important, purely because it's to do with your personal situation, but also an important realization. You will see something, you will attach yourself to what are you going to see in the best possible way, in the most positive and most optimistic way, because that particular thing, it's also going to have a really important and positive impact on your life. It's going to be a rather vavoomish moment in time, because you are going to gather and you are going to get this spiritual energy that, you know, I can't even describe how much this is going to rejuvenate you until you reach this particular moment, this particular point in your life. And this is what number 9 is all about, you see. And on another hand, when it comes to numerology, when it comes to number 9, for you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you see, it's just basically also, you know, you're going to realize within the first few days in October, you know, it's going to be like, oh my Lord, yes, you are going to feel a little bit under the pressure, you are going to feel a little bit like overburdened feeling, for example, but purely because of the excessive pressures and pressures, you know, and these pressures, they kind of manifested in your life because of the actual you know, problems that hasn't been resolved. And it's all part of that circle, what I've mentioned before. When you find yourself disorientated, you know, it has an effect on you that, you know, it kind of affects your planning, the way you plan and things like that when it comes to your future. So this is something that you really have to go through, but it's important, it's really important, because you just need to remember it needs to get worse in order to get better, and this is your time and this is your moment. So the first few days are gonna be miraculous when it comes to you, because this is more like a God's gift, you know. You need to look at this, you know, the first few days in October more like a challenging situation, because the challenging situation in your life, it's only there to improve your own life. You can look at it like a blessing and a new beginning and a new way to express yourself, rather than the actual negativity, and that in itself is going to help you already to kind of go halfway through, you know. And this is really important. So first of all, there is going to be a little bit of overburden feeling, that you're going to have an excessive pressures, but this is going to be important energy, because most certainly you will know exactly which problems are on another hand going to be and going to actually get resolved. So this is really important. On another hand, you know, you will know exactly, within the first week of October, you will know exactly like which kind of effort you need to put in the certain part of your life. The certain part of your life is going to require more effort for you to put it in, and that in itself is going to also be needed from you to actually make a certain judgment. And it's important to remember that at the same time, this is to do with your improvement, it's to do with your development, it's to do with the next step. It's going to be very positive, like for many of you who are looking for the promotion, if you're working, and for many of you who are maybe who are working, it's pretty much so to do with the promotion, so you can do as much as you can, baby, you will be noticed. But then on another hand, for those of you who are looking for work, this is also an important moment in time, because something really important is coming. For those of you who are retired, this is just all about the next stage and the next step of your life, and saying goodbye to that part of your life that no longer serve you. It's all about being optimistic and keeping your head, high up, above the ground, and at the same time grounding yourself and paying attention to those things only that make you happy, okay? On another hand, this is to do with the pretty much so also an important news and information that you are going to have, and this is going to mean to you so much, and it's pretty much so to do with the outcome of the past effort, and this is going to happen at the right moment, at the right time, at around the mid-October 2021, but it's going to mean to you so much. On another hand, what I need you to understand, that karmically this is going to be like a supercharged time. Now the more you kind of give, the more you're going to get back, type of thing, and things like that, whether this is to do with emotion, whether this is to do with your energy, it's important to remember. But also, on another hand, there is a specific person that is going to be keep on popping in your mind. And I know, yet again, it's so easy for me to say, oh yeah, you just need to forgive and forget. Well, basically, yes, you just need to forgive and forget. So someone specific is going to be keep on popping into your mind, somebody that maybe somebody who maybe did something like a negative to you, like maybe long time ago, maybe it happened like a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't really matter, but as soon as you kind of become aware of that person through your kind of thinking process, this is not about you kind of like being angry with that person, for example. This is more about going to be pinpointed to you energetically and spiritually, to actually, you need to let something go. So this is important karmic moment, which is later on yet again going to reward you when it comes to December, because a lot that you're doing now in October is going to be having like a very strong and powerful connection with the actual December. So this is something I need you to understand, because this is going to bring you a powerful reward, because this is the time of not only like a karmic change and completing really important circle in your life, but it's also the time of your own rebirth. On another hand, I really like it, because it's again this message that I'm talking about. There's some kind of message that you're going to have, that you're going to get, and it's going to be delivered like almost like instantly, something really quick, like ooh la la, it's actually going to happen when it comes to that particular message. But what is even more important, that you're gonna need to kind of like make also as quick or as fast decision when it comes to it. And most certainly this is going to be the right answer that you're going to do, because it's going to come spontaneously. When something comes spontaneously, especially when the energy is so strong and powerful, when it comes to the October, remember, the energy is going to be intense, from the 1st of October until the very last day of October, because the time is very spiritual indeed. So by the time we get to the 30th and the 31st of October, and it even extends to 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd of November, it's time of Samhain. Some people calling Halloween, some call it Samhain, but it's when the veil in between this world and the spirit world, it's at its thinnest, point, and that in itself invites like lots of spirit into our world, and spirits who used to be in our lives in particular are going to be visiting us even more intensely at this moment in time, and that in itself reflects on so much of our own energy and vibration around us. So it's going to be wonderful, you see, very important. And I like when things are really weird. So, but the point is that, it starts on the 1st of October, and as the time goes by, it becomes more intense. And this is the same energy that you're going to benefit from like there is no tomorrow. So this is why when I say that any kind of response that you have that is spontaneous, it's coming from somewhere really important, really deep, and really spiritual, from a rather powerful dimension decisions. So like it's most certainly you can't do wrong, you know. It's all going to basically unfold in a sudden progress or movement, you know, and which is going to reflect on the fastness in your life. So it's a great time to in whichever way you want to expand yourself, or like maybe if you're like, as I said before, working, or if you want to do something, you know, you can just like kind of like start thinking about it, and you will see that your mind is going to have this ability to take you so much further. So this is really important. But also on another hand, you know, by the time we get slightly to the actual end of October, you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, are going to have a really big accomplishment, and I really like this. This is going to mean to you so much. This is going to be very important to you. This is going to be really significant to you, and there is a very strong and powerful sense of sincerity as well at the same time. This is brilliant because it's going to make you feel so good. It's going to kind of show you the accomplishment, but also at the same time, the very important part of your life is going to be highlighted when it comes to your devotion, what you should be devoted to, which part of your life is going to require the most of the energy to kind of pay attention towards and actually kind of give. You know, this is all about you realizing exactly in which part of your life you have to offer more services and efforts towards the actual specific goal. This is going to be really significant, and also one particular person who is quite close to you in your life, it's also going to have a very special and very interesting message for you at the same time, that you're going to find quite, you know, you're going to find that message quite good, quite important in so many different ways. On another hand, when it comes to your health, my gorgeous Sagittarinis, I just want to say it's the same thing that I said last month. It is rather important to still keep on paying attention how to boost your immune system, and you just need to make sure that you are taking every single day nice natural vitamin C, either organic acerola cherry powder, or either organic acerola cherry capsules, either organic camu camu powder, or either organic camu camu capsules. Both of these supplements are very much so ridiculously high in natural vitamin C, and it's something that I would recommend to you every single day, alongside natural vitamin D supplement. And I said it before, and I'm going to say it again, even if you are exposed to the sun every single day, I would still suggest you to take a natural vitamin D supplements. Please do it. On another hand, and zinc, and the mineral zinc as well is just something that I would highly recommend you to take. Zinc, it's very, very important indeed. So it's the natural zinc, it's combination of natural vitamin C, natural vitamin D, and zinc as well at the same time. This is rather important indeed. And try to drink as much water possibly as you can throughout this month. Try to cut out sugar if you possibly can completely, because sugar, it's gonna be some kind of like a terrible ingredient, especially this month, that is going to kind of make you feel really negative, and you're going to have a very strong sensitivity towards it. So try to kind of cut out sugar completely. You can either use organic honey, but then if you're vegan, for example, and you don't want to use organic honey, maybe like something like organic maple syrup, I think, or something like that, you know, because it is just basically organic maple syrup or organic honey, something like that. It's very important to use instead of the actual natural sugar, because sugar is just so bad for you. So this is something I would need you to kind of take. On another hand, if you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications, my gorgeous Sagittarinis, or not. So now going on the very first date that is going to be significant, it's going to be on the 1st of October. Now the very 1st of October, this is the stagnation that I was talking about. This is the negativity that I was talking about. You're going to just find yourself thinking, like blaming yourself about something, and thinking about like slow or partial change, you know, too slow process, you know. It's just so much kind of like it's going to bring this kind of negativity, but this negativity is pretty much needed, because this negativity is purely going to be responsible, that same energy, for you to make the necessary steps to go forward. And it's very important, because at the same same time, it is the motivation that it's actually going to kick in. Somebody really important in your life, it's going to motivate you within the first few days of October. And this is going to be brilliant, because this person on one hand mean to you so much, but then on another hand, this person has got like a spiritual key for you, for your own personal growth. So this is brilliant, because it's also going to lead towards your own success, you know. Or of course that you're going to be thinking about like the certain next step, but what is going to be on your mind at the same time, a little bit of a conflicting influence that it's actually going to surprise you. But then again, your mind is going to be telling you one thing, and your spirit is going to be telling you something completely different. Your heart is going to be telling you something completely different. You know, it's really important to just see what exactly would you like to do, because it's pretty much so about the emotional confusion that it's going to be caused, but your spirit knows, your soul knows. So this is what you need to follow. This is what you need to pay attention to, and also at the same time, you just need to be really sharp and quick, you know, because you are going to have this wonderful power of the actual responding in a very kind of significant way, in particular when it's kind of, spontaneous. The second, sorry, the second important date. But before I go even further, I would highly recommend you to suggest you to get something like this gorgeous chakra pendant with the wonderful chakra crystals, and this is going to have an absolutely superb impact and influence on you and on your life. I suggest this to wear in October, November and December, because it's going to pick you up, it's going to help you to ground yourself, it's going to help you to kind of like come to terms with things that you would normally find too confusing. So on one hand, it spiritually completely rejuvenates you. It helps you to keep your feet on the ground. It helps you to feel grounded. But then again, on another hand, it really helps you to kind of like pay attention to the most important things in your life. This gorgeous chakra pendant comes with a sterling silver setting and a sterling silver chain. And the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. My gorgeous Sagittarians, I have to say that. So the second important date is going to be on the 16th of October. And now this is a big mama time, because you have got like a pretty much so like a very kind of like a interesting person who is like very nice with other people, or there is something that that person does and it's that person also inspires other people, and you are aware of this, and you are going to be aware of this. So that particular person is going to be directly responsible for you getting a very a very interesting advice, and that advice is going to be kind of consisting of you realizing and understanding that it's to do with your kind of, you need to be yourself and you need to be very creative. This is to do with you, with yourself, and that in itself is going to be your spiritual armor that you're going to put almost immediately. That is going to get you thinking after the 16th of October for the next few days, and there is a bit of a hermit moment that you are going to have, but you know how highly I think of the actual hermit moments. It's all about a very powerful self-illumination that is going to bring a realization to you, and that is also going to open up your eyes, because you're going to realize what you were in self-denial about, and that in itself, there is something ingenuine that you're going to become aware of. But then again, at the same time, this is going to be absolutely superb, crucial for you, because you are kind of going to come to terms with something and make the very important necessary step, and this is to do with the future planning, this is to do with your own growth. You will know that it's to do with the hard work, but at the same time, it's all about progress, you know, and the actual need for the reorganization in your life. And that in itself, it's also going to help you make you realize that there is something that you have been patient about. You're gonna hear a very good news that the actual results of efforts are like kind of nearly due here. And then on another hand, just don't forget that in between the 16th of October and the end of that month, there is a very successful dealing that you are going to have. My gorgeous Sagittarini, very successful dealing, and this is gonna be absolutely brilliant, and one of the most powerful and most important things this month that it's actually going to happen. Very successful dealings, and that in itself you can take both ways. On one hand, you know it's a very successful dealing, but then on another hand, if you do need to have some kind of dealings like and things like that, talking to people, discussing something, compromising, blah blah blah, and things like that, you know, in between the 16th of October and the end of that month, it's going to be brilliant, and the luck is going to be on your side. Okay, the last important date is going to be on the 30th and the 31st 1st of October 2021. So now I told you this is a very important time because it's the time of Samhain. So everything is going to be like a very much so highlighted. There is a lot that you're going to be able to understand. But then on another hand, you know, it's all about the invitation, the actual opportunity that you are going to become aware of for the first time ever. And it's important because it's going to reflect on your advanced stage in your life. But then again, it's to do with like a very much so the certain request that you're going to find rather challenging. But then at the same time, it's all about your own creativity. It's all about you focusing on what you're going to do next. If you find yourself being rather confused here, then you just focus on those parts of your future that you want to achieve, and leaving aside things that are bringing you down by making things negative to you and making you disorientated. And that is immediately going to help you with your own power of vision. Just remember that, because it's pretty much so to do with the actual very much so beginning of a quite absolutely mind-blowing and meaningful experience that you're going to find quite adventurous, but at the same time it's going to bring you hopeful outlook. You know, it's pretty much so to do with the favorable expectations. You know, it's going to reflect of new alliances in your life, but at the same time, you know, there is a very important reunion that you're going to become aware of. Very important reunion, which is going to mean to you so much. On another hand, you know, it's all about the great determination that you're going to have, initiative. You know, this is what you need to pay attention to. What is giving you the great strength? What is giving you initiative? What is making you feel so good? Because it's going to reflect on every single part of your life, and especially on the 30th and the 31st of October, this is what you should do, because it's also going to kind of put you in an element of a deep emotional feeling, but then again, it's just going to put you into, oh yes, I want to do this, I want to do that. Very important, absolutely brilliant. Okay, so now, sorry, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to see what to pay attention to in the first part of October, mid part of October, and the last part of October. But before I go there, what I think is really important is to smudge your home as well, because the energy is going to be rather intense. We're going to open up psychically, we're going to open up quite a lot, which is on one hand brilliant, because there are going to be all sorts of informations that you're going to be picking up. But on another hand, it can be a little bit draining. So it's a perfect time to smudge your home with a dry sage, but at the same time you can, you know, smudging yourself as well. So you may feel like a little bit, oh my god, weird couple of days later, but then after, the more weirder you feel, the better you're gonna feel, the better outcome it's actually going to be. You know, the more weirder you feel while you're smudging your home, it means that you accumulated a certain amount of negative energy within you, you see. So this is all quite good actually. So the dry sage is something I highly recommend. You look at the size of this. And you can also buy this in my shop. And if you would like to buy this from my shop, the link is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well, my gorgeous Sagittarini. So now, the first part of October, you just, you know, karmically, it's going to be like a big mama moment here. It's brilliant because it's pretty much so to do with the good that is going to come back to you. Something really good that you have done over the last 6 months, it's actually going to get back to you. But then on another hand, you know, what I need you to understand that, you know, it's just also like a kind of like it's the time when you need to be really, really wise at the same time. So this is what I need you to remember. The mid part of October, it's actually going to bring you really excellent opportunity, but it's only going to be the beginning of it, and it's to do with a certain new area in your life. So this is only the beginning, but then by the time we get to the last part of the actual October, it's all about these brilliant ideas that are going to have a very much so strong connection with the mid of October. So just remember, the last part of October, it's going to be bring you like all sorts of things, you know, like a brilliant ideas, but then again they will need like a little bit more to work on, a little bit longer to kind of focus on and take it, because it's pretty much so to do with overcoming obstacles at the same time. But then again, what you need to remember at the end of October, the communication is the key. The communication. You need to express yourself and communicate at the end of October as much as you basically can, and also at the same time remember to remain objective. Okay, so now my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you who are in relationships. So now for those of you who are in relationship, I mean, this is brilliant because it's to do with a certain skill, whether it's going to be you or whether it's going to be your partner. But there is a very important skill that is going to come up, and that skill is also going to bring the resolution to a very, very annoying problem in your life. That was affecting like both of you like there is no tomorrow. So this is either to do with you or it's either to do with your partner, and it's going to start like that with realization. You're going to visually be able to connect on a very high level, and that in itself, it's also going to be connected to the beginning of like a very interesting, like kind of almost adventure for the couples, because you know it's going to make you feel very enthusiastic, in particular because of this initiative that is going to take over, and it's to do with something new, you know, and it's like an opportunity with unlimited possibilities. But then again, you know, it's like a very much so like a very sacred obsession, and when we feel like this, you know, it only happens every now and then. You know that you're gonna do and you're gonna achieve so much in your life. Okay, so when it comes to those of you that are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you see this is gonna be really bizarre months, you know, very strange and very interesting months when it comes to meeting new people. I do not kind of see you're meeting someone of a substance, and I'm saying this on purpose because some kind of something will go on, in particular when it comes to like some kind of conclusion, some kind of problem that you're going to sort out, which is brilliant, you know, in general with your life. And then almost as if I can see that you're going to like kind of celebrate something. You will want to kind of like connect and reconnect with certain people, which means like you will be so happy. But then on another hand, that in itself, that in its essence is going to put you in touch with this person. And I do not like this person whatsoever. This person is not really good person. This person is just going to be somebody, maybe you will have a couple of glasses of wine extra or something. Maybe you will not realize certain elements about this person. Basically, the bottom line is you're going to come across this particular person and you will think, oh yeah, it's great, you know. But then very soon you will realize that there is actually some kind of like a hidden enemy behind there. So that in itself is going to, I know it sounds really weird, it's going to sound really bizarre, you're going to move away from that person, but on another hand, this in itself is so important for you to go through, because I see in November and December very much so highlighted when it comes to you meeting someone really special, but you have to go through this person because it's just going to help you to deal with a certain obstacle later on. I know this doesn't make sense now, but it's just something that is absolutely so much needed for you in order to go actually through and to make a way for someone very, very special very soon later on. My gorgeous Sagittarinis, this is more important than ever. Okay, my gorgeous Sagittarinis, I love every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Sagittarinis. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. I love you. Bye. Mwah.